Okay, so I wanted to show shading while drawing something, and drawing an egg is really good practice. So you look at this egg and you'll notice that everything in this, as well as everything in the world, is defined by colors and darks and lights. There's no real lines. So even though we're drawing lines, it's kind of like a shortcut. So we're gonna just draw this egg, and you see it's in an angle here. So it's in a slight angle like this. And so an egg is really not round, but that's the closest shape that we could associate it with. Let's do it about this big. The first thing you want to do is how big is it? So there's a round circle here, but it kind of ebbs out here and it ebbs out even more here. So that's what I'm going to try to draw here. See, the circle would be here, but I kind of pull it out a little bit further. And this one comes out here. And you see the point maybe comes out here. The angle's about like that. A little bit more. Maybe a sharper angle like that. So you want to get this right. And what you do is you can draw it over and over until you get it right. And it's just good practice. So some of these lines may distract you, and it's okay to get rid of it if you want to focus. But we're going to focus on light and dark. So if you look at this, you can see there's this band of darkness coming here. And then the darkest part of this photo is right under here. And that is the shadow that defines the edge of the egg. Now, the darkest part is right next to the egg, and then it gets lighter. And so the shade, it's in this oval shape. How far does it go out? Almost to the end here. So the same with this side. So it's a shadow. So it takes on that, and we'll erase that later. But you shade it in the contour. Because the hand is like this, and our natural flow of our hand, there's an angle to it. You can work and practice and get those lines straight, but basically the hand is like a compass, and so there's a natural curve. So you can take advantage of that by doing it this way. I'm going to just keep it this way. You can see the darkness. There's a shape to the gradations. Okay, so the really dark part is about like that. So, and then there's this next stage of darkness. And then the table's flat, so I like to get the lines going the way that the surface is going. And so you might want to do it this way too. Now, you see a lot of lines, you may not like that. Give it a slight crosshatch, fills in those lines really nicely. Now, you might want to go in darker. You say, okay, I got too dark out here. You can see it's really light. It's not that dark. You knock this one up a level. You do have to go back to the real life and see what's going on with the light, dark. The light as in the lightest spot on the page, and the dark is darkest spot, but the light as far as the light source. So light could mean two things. The saturation, or whether it's the sun or a light bulb. The egg could be maybe a little bit, could bow out a little bit. More here. And so drawing is a series of corrections. So there we go. You'll see that the band, like I mentioned before, there's a slight band. So let's try to capture this. If you notice here, there's a light spot here, and that's the reflection of the light coming off the table. If you want to give this dimension, you can follow that and stay away from that edge there. I'm trying to keep the lines along the curvature of the egg itself. Shadow extends up here. Now I'm coming across here. Now I want to turn my hand this other way, so we can do that. You can see that there's a really light spot right in here. You could even emphasize it by kind of outlining that a little bit. Let's do that now. So you're getting a little bit artistic here. Taking a little artistic license, but that is really a highlight right in there. So we can kind of emphasize that a little bit. Might amaze some people that way. And then these lines are crossing, see? So there's a little bit of cross-hatching going on here. And then you want to see how gradation gets dark to light, and we try to copy that. So right in here is the darkest part of the gradation. And again here, there's cross-hatching going on. And that's a stylistic thing. And then right in here, I kind of leave out a little highlight there. And it gives it that 3D feel to it. Now it's kind of uneven here, and I'll just try to even it out. I'm not looking at the egg anymore. I'm just looking at how this smooths out. It's a smooth surface, so I want this to be even. And so I'll drop in lines wherever it needs it. Try to smooth over some of these, but I like how the lines look, so I don't obliterate it or smooth it out too much. So right in here, and right in here there's a dark spot, right in here, dark spot. So I'll go in and give that a little bit of emphasis, maybe a little bit more than is really seen in real life, and then right in here. A lot of times the lightest spot, darkest spot are right next to each other. Okay? And so that's how you draw an egg. Now there's some touch up. You could add maybe some little details here, kind of, so those sides don't get forgotten. But that's basically it. How to draw an egg. Make sure these edges are smooth and not forgotten. Right here, you can probably smooth out a little bit of this here, and then smooth out some of this in here. But that's generally how to draw an egg.